Convos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And I want to thank you guys for every week tuning in. New episode every week. So wherever you're listening to this at, give us a thumbs up, a 5-star, share it. And especially this episode, because I've been getting asked a lot about this episode, or not this episode, but just like questions about, obviously, I call it Mr. Limpy. Other people call it different things. The exact term, well, it's not exact, but ED, erectile dysfunction, is pretty common in men. And it has a lot of effects even on women. And that could be like emotionally, mentally, like, and things like that, because they always think that it's them, it's their problem. So that's why I'm not a medical professional. That's why I invited Veronica. She's actually a nurse. We'll get into her background. That way you guys can see like where she comes from. So, but again, thank you for doing this. I'm excited because, again, the amount of questions, and she's also seen the questions that you guys ask, and it's always ED, like, or not always. A good portion is like, my man has this. What is it? Me? What is it? Why does it do this? So we're gonna get into that. So from Arizona?
Yes.
Born and raised?
I guess I would. I was born here, but then we moved to Illinois, and then I came back when I was 5, and I've been here since I was 5.
Since you were 5?
Yes.
All right. And nursing your whole life?
No. So I've been in the medical field for since I'm going to say 2005. Started off as a medical assistant, worked in like different specialties, and then decided I want to do more. And then I've been a registered nurse for about 5 years now.
5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And then have you dealt with this type of or have you studied like the ED?
So knowledge and experience. Okay. I worked with urology. I mean, it was basically pediatric urology, but a lot of the urologists that work there, they do have to do both adult and pediatric. So essentially, you kind of pick their brain.
And so those that don't know, what is the difference between, what is pediatric?
Pediatric is children,
okay,
and then adults.
I actually did not know that until like a while back ago. I didn't know when they say like a pediatric doctor.
Yeah.
I didn't know that meant a kid doctor.
Right.
I thought it was just like a type of doctor, which it is a type of doctor. It's a type of patients they work with.
Right. So it's technically considered a specialty. So they work with kids 0 to 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I know somebody's going to be like, well, what's a pediatric? Because trust me, if I had the question, other people have the question
Most moms know what pediatric are.
I mean, oh yeah, that's true. That is true. I forgot that I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
So you said both experience and
knowledge.
And knowledge. So
correct.
We're going to get straight into it because I know people are here wanting to hear. So let me actually pull up the notes that I have.
Okay.
So, first of all, what is ED? Like, let's start there.
So ED, erectile dysfunction, is when a man can't sustain or maintain an erection. And a lot of the times, majority of the time, it's because, well, all the time, it's just restricted blood flow. So in order for a man to have an erection, they have to have blood flow to the area. Mm-hmm. So essentially, arousal starts in the brain. Brain sends signal like, "Hey, go down there. We need to get this little guy going up again." So essentially, that's what it is.
Okay. And
so if those of you who don't know what sustain and maintain is, it means you can't have an erection, or you can't keep it up. So.
Mm-hmm. So that's actually one of the questions we got from people later, and then about what age, I know you see it throughout all the ages, but typically what's the age that it's supposed to, like, it could start happening to somebody?
So normal. So typically anywhere like above the age of 40. Obviously, like as you get older, you're more at risk, but essentially the age of 40 is when it typically will start.
Okay, so about 40-ish. So if you, but it is, you do see it before 40.
Oh yeah.
Depending on the person.
Correct. Yeah. So if you ever see it that's below the age of 40, a lot of the times it's more like psychological. Obviously, like nowadays, you have a lot more younger kids like getting like diagnosed with like diabetes, like heart diseases, and those can actually cause erectile dysfunction as well. So, but majority of the time, if there's ever somebody who has ED that's under the age of 40 or like starting out young, a lot of the times it's psychological.
Okay. Yeah, because that something that I have here. It says that ED. Well, it says ED is ED always a physical issue, or can it be a psychological issue too? And you explained that right now that it could also be like you said, super stressed out about something, so it actually affects you down there. So like if your partner is actually going through something like this, maybe are they super stressed about something? Like, do they? Would high stress be like, hey, like about to be evicted? Like,
Yeah. So stress can be anything. It can be from work, from home, financial issues, like relationship issues. That's so actually stress and anxiety is actually like one of the number one contributors to ED. And that's because like when we're stressed or we have anxiety, our body releases cortisol. So cortisol is a steroid that our body kind of produces. And if you have high levels of cortisol, that can actually affect your testosterone. So you have low testosterone. And that's why most men, if it is because of that psychological, that's why they have erectile dysfunction.
I'm glad everybody is like getting informed, and I hope guys are actually listening to this too.
Yeah.
That way they get it informed,
Right.
Knowing that it's okay. So like before I get into the other ones, like to go get checked, do they sit there and they play with your little thing? Because I feel like a lot of guys think that that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna be like, drop them, let me check it out.
No. So a lot of the times when guys, and this is like very rare, a lot of the guys, they don't go to doctor's office because they feel ashamed to talk about it. Don't be ashamed about it. It's very common. And honestly, like you should go talk about it if it's an issue, because it's a domino effect. Not only is it gonna, affect yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, but it also affects your partner. So but essentially what happens is honestly, some people like to go to PCPs, which is a primary care physician. So that's like your main physician you would go to if you're sick. But if you have the capability of going to see a urologist is one that specializes in that. So if you have the capability to bypass your primary care physician and go to a urologist, that is my recommendation, because then you bypass like all the like extra like bullshit crap that they want to do. Because a lot of times you go to primary care physicians, they want to do additional stuff and they don't specialize in things like that, which is why you should go to urologists. They know what to do and they don't do all this extra stuff, and it doesn't cost you as much versus because you're going from one, and they're going to refer you anyways if they do something and they can't. There's no there's no results.
Yeah.
Right.
So they basically have like a general test.
Right.
And then if they fail that test, or like they don't know what it is.
There's no test. So a lot of the times it's based off of like medical history and what your symptoms are, right? And then going based off of that, sometimes they'll do like lab draws to make sure like obviously your testosterone levels are well, your cholesterol's not high, like you don't have like diabetes or any kind of contributing factors, that medical contributing factor that it is. And if everything's kind of like normal, then at that point they kind of decide is it like psychological or is it something that requires medication? And there's like extensive tests that they can do. Like they can do ultrasounds of like your penis to like see what kind of blood flow you have going on there. But essentially that's what it is. But a lot of the times it's just mostly going to include like your medical history, symptoms, and then blood work.
Okay. But most of the time those, like if they can't figure it out, like they'll just send you to a urologist.
That's why I'm saying just bypass all of that and go straight to a urologist, because
they'll get straight to the point.
Right.
Instead of being like, well, let's try this.
Right. Yeah. Because a lot of the times primary care physicians, they want to rule out. Rule out meaning like they want to like say, okay, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, and not that. But if you go to your urologist and you just say, hey, this is what's been going on, and then they'll ask you questions, and then they'll just like, boom, like, yes, you need medication. No, you don't.
Okay. And I mean, you kind of touched on this, but I actually want to ask the question is, what are some of the common causes of ED? I know you touched on it a little bit, but that way, like what's some of the common stuff that you've seen?
Right. So like common causes, obviously, like we talked about stress, anxiety, also like smoking. So if you're a heavy smoker,
what?
Like smoking cigarettes, and then obviously marijuana. But marijuana affects it differently just because marijuana is kind of like a central nervous system depressor. So it impairs like the way your mind works again. arousal starts with the brain, right? So if your brain is impaired, then your brain is not sending signals down there. So, but smoking cigarettes, actually is if you're a heavy smoker, and the reason is because it narrows your vessels, which means that you're not going to get blood flow down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is that where I'm sure you've heard the term whiskey dick?
Yeah.
Is that why that happens? Is because you get too drunk to the point where your brain is not sending?
Because your brain is like impaired, right? So if you have like a little bit of drink here and there, that's fine. But if you're like drunk, then you're not going to be able to perform because your brain is like, you're impaired. You can't concentrate, and you're just pretty much messing with the signals in your brain telling you like, hey, like we're horny, like let's do this now.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, because and for those that don't know, whiskey dick, what that is like obviously like when you're trying to be intimate with somebody and nothing is happening down there. Right. You're getting no signal. Okay?
Right. So it's alcohol-induced erectile dysfunction.
Yes. So how does stress? Well, but I just want to get a little deeper on each one. How much does stress and anxiety play a role on
how much
eating?
A lot. It plays a lot in it. Again, so you have increased cortisol level, right? So then your fight or flight goes into effect, right? You have increased heart rate, like your sexual desire goes low, and you kind of essentially your mind is focused on what's stressing you out and what's giving you anxiety, that it's taking your mind away from getting aroused or even wanting to have sex. Like it takes away your desire to have sex because you're so worried and focused on, well, how am I going to fix this? Like, I can't afford to pay this. At work, like, I feel like I'm being, like, targeted, like, things like that. So when we focus our mind on something, it takes away our desire to want to have sex, right? So essentially, that's how it works.
So basically on that one, that's why it's important to talk to your partner and, like, just figure out what's stressing them out at work. Right. And if they're telling you that they're super stressed out, maybe it could be that. I know some people get stressed out. So I follow this page back in Idaho, and some girl. I'm not saying she has ED, but I'm sure it's stressful through the roof, right?
Girl.
Well, here's the reason I give this example is because she was freaking out. It's like a group page.
Yeah.
I'm sure like they have some in Gilbert, right?
Right.
Life in Gilbert or something like that.
Yeah.
It's Life in Idaho Falls. And she's like, I'm super stressed out right now. I'm short on my rent. If I don't pay it, they're going to kick me and my kid out.
Right.
Is there any work I can do? And so say you're a guy and that's going to happen. Your family's going to get kicked out.
Right.
I don't think he's in the mood to
no, absolutely not.
To be intimate. So and if you try to be intimate to maybe maybe make him feel a little bit better, and he doesn't get up, and then you're just like, what the fuck happened, right?
Right.
It's just think about the situation.
Right. Well, I feel like as a wife or girlfriend, like you should be able to see that, and again, communication, like you have to talk about it. If I notice that my man was stressed, obviously I'm going to be like, hey, what's wrong? There's something wrong. A lot of the times guys don't want to talk about it because I think guys are afraid. One, they don't want to admit that they can't afford something, especially to their partner, right? Because then a lot of the times women are like, well, you're not a man. You're supposed to provide X, Y, Z. So I feel like guys feel like it's just going to turn into an argument. So I think that's probably why they don't communicate. I'm not a guy. I'm just assuming that that's why, because they don't want to start an argument. And also it's a macho, ego type.
I think it's more that of course I can see that. But I think it's more of an ego thing. I can't tell her this, right. I don't want to tell her this.
Well, he doesn't want to worry her, right? Yeah, exactly. Especially if she has kids, she's already busy, stressed out on these Neanderthals who are running around everywhere.
And then now she has to stress out about something that you're stressed about too. So
exactly.
So it makes sense. So I know you answered, because the next question is, can lifestyle choices like drinking, smoking, but this one is one that I don't think you touched on. Can lack of sleep also cause?
Yeah. So lack of sleep will cause it, because you have to think about it. If you have lack of sleep, you have loss of concentration, you're tired. Like the last thing you want to do is have to like perform, because when you have sex, like it works you out, right?
Yeah.
So if you're tired, like last thing you want to do is have sex with somebody, right? So yeah, lack of sleep can cause it, mainly because of that, because you're tired, you can't focus, you can't concentrate.
You just want to close your eyes and go to sleep, and
Pretty much, yeah.
rather than doing something.
I mean, if you're tired and like your girl wakes you up and says, "Hey, like let's do this,"
like,
are you gonna want to do it? You're
like,
like,
I'm
"No, I'm
trying to sleep."
tired." Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to be waking up. Like, let me sleep. Yeah.
So, when should a man seek help?
So I feel like guys should seek help. So if it happens like once in a while, like obviously like it's not an issue. But if it happens more frequently within like a couple weeks, that's when you should get help. Or if it becomes to be a bothersome. I know some guys, like it can happen like once or twice and they're just like, what the hell's wrong with my shit? And, so at that point, if it becomes a bothersome, but realistically, like if it's like once in a while, I wouldn't worry about it.
'Cause it could be something different.
It could be stress. It could be, it could be other things like psychological. But if it happens like once or twice in like, let's just say 2 months, I wouldn't worry about it. But if it's like all the time,
Like every time you're trying to be
correct,
intimate.
yeah. If it's every time that you're trying to be intimate, like if you can still get it up, but then like mid it goes soft, then I would say probably seek help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you answered this, but just to relieve the guys, what kind of tests are done to determine like the cause of ED?
So tests kind of, I guess, based off of any age, even if it's young or older. Obviously they're going to ask you your medical history. If you're on any medications, they're going to ask you your symptoms. When does it happen? How frequently does it happen? When it happens, what occurs, like from beginning to end. And then based off of that, they'll kind of determine the next steps. So then obviously they're going to do blood draws again to check your testosterone level, because sometimes you can have low testosterone level and that could be underlying issue. Heart disease. So they'll check like your cholesterol. They're going to check to see if you have diabetes, because sometimes diabetes can cause ED because diabetes causes nerve damage. And then also surgical history. So if you had like any kind of like spinal surgery, that can also affect it can give ED. And the reason is because your spinal cord is where your brain essentially sends signals down from. So if you've had like cervical surgery, that can also affect it.
What about, I mean, just based off what you said, what about if you're two things, pre-diabetic and thyroid? Would those affect it?
Pre-diabetic, I mean, I feel like most people get diagnosed with pre-diabetes, and a lot of the times it's like, are you really pre-diabetic, or is it kind of like
they just say that to scare you?
They're just assuming you are. They don't say it to scare you, and it kind of bothers me when I hear people say, "Oh, well, I'm pre-diabetic." Well, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Okay, because like just because you had like one blood test that showed that your glucose was like high, they're gonna be like say like, "Oh, you're pre-diabetic," and then they want to start you on a medication, which to me is like ridiculous. Let's start off other ways, but I would probably say not. I feel like a lot of the times, people who are diagnosed with pre-diabetic or pre-diabetes is because they're obese. Okay. So obesity can affect, like it can give you ED, but I feel like pre-diabetes probably not.
Okay. And then, are there any embarrassing myths guys should keep believing about ED?
Like, keep believing or not believe? You want to know?
Or should stop believing.
Okay, I have it on my phone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Because one of them that I get all the time is that the guy thinks that the doctor is gonna go in there and just like look at it and like
they're gonna look at it.
Well, I think if it gets to that
they don't
point,
do the nut check.
Yeah, I think if it gets to that point where like first they're gonna do the tests,
right?
and then they get into that, or do they like
No,
first thing they're like drop them?
No.
Because guys are afraid to do that.
Right. So they're not okay. So they're not gonna. They don't do a penis check or a nut check. Like they don't. Erectile dysfunction. It's not superficial. It's all internal. Mm-hmm. So for them to look at you there, it's unnecessary, and they shouldn't. Okay. Now, if they have to, there has to be an underlying issue as to why they want to look there. You know what I'm saying? But they shouldn't do the whole turn your head and cough type thing.
Yeah.
That's a totally different. Now, the only time they may do it is if they're checking like the prostate. That's the only time. And maybe that's why they're afraid to go in.
Because they think it's going to be a prostate check.
Right. But we also have to remember like prostate cancer is like, it can be pretty common even with like younger age.
Especially men.
Right. So like, yeah, you should get your prostate checked, and maybe that's probably why they would ever do it. But a lot of the times, if they're younger, a lot of times doctors are like, oh, you're too young to have it. You're never too young. Okay. Your cancer does not discriminate. You're never too young to get prostate cancer, testicular cancer, or any type of cancer. So guys, I know you don't want to get that checked, but if you can, suck it up and do it, because the last thing you want to do is get diagnosed like later on and it's at a higher stage of it, and then you lose a ball. So
that, or like it's even worse.
Yeah, because essentially then you have to go through like all these treatments, and cancer treatments aren't fun. Like I've seen my mom go through it, and it's debilitating. It's like it just wrecks you emotionally, physically, and it's just not something you want to go through. So I know nobody wants to get a finger up their butt to get their prostate checked, but I mean, better safe than sorry.
Exactly. You said you had some other myths?
Yes. Let's see. So some common myths is like, I'm not man enough, right? So a lot of the times, guys who have ED, they think that they're not man enough to like do anything. And I feel like that also contributes to like performance anxiety, right? So guys can't get their penis up or their dick up. And they're just like, they get upset. And sometimes they take it out on their partner. Like they will get upset at their partner and be like, I'm not man enough for you. Like you should go find somebody else, and like things like that. But they shouldn't get upset about it. It doesn't mean you're not man enough. Like if it's a medical condition, there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't make you any different than a guy who can, right? The issue is like, you should want to go get it fixed, right? Because the only thing you're doing is you're worsening it, not only for yourself, but for your partner as well. And then you're causing issues within your relationship. So another one is, if I have ED, my partner will be upset and leave me. Mm-hmm. That's like a big one. So a lot of the times they don't want to, instead of talking to their partner about it, they would rather just kind of like brush it off. And then sometimes some of them don't even want to have sex. Like they'll just be like, I would rather not have sex with you than to go get help or just tell you that there's a problem. Women, we know there's a problem, but we don't want to bring it up to you because we don't want you to be mad. So essentially it goes both ways. So that's one big common one, is that they feel like their partner is going to be upset. But if you communicate that to your partner and you let them know like, hey, like I think there's something wrong, like your partner should be supportive of that and be like, you know what, like I have noticed X, Y, Z, like, let's go together. And if your partner doesn't want you to go with them, that's completely fine, but communicate with your partner. Yeah. Let them know, okay? Like, don't just brush it off as it's nothing. Because what if it is something? What if it's like medical, you know, like if it's like a diagnosis and because you're brushing it off, you're making it worse.
Yeah, and I feel like they shouldn't feel like they're the only ones that walked in there with that problem.
Right.
You know, there's hundreds, thousands of people who walk in there with that problem.
Oh, yeah.
They're just not telling you about it because they're not going to be like, oh, I'm on my way to the ED appointment. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Or they're not going to be at the doctor's office being like, getting my ED checked, you know.
Yeah. I mean.
So.
But I feel like sometimes that's okay, because when men see like on the internet that like it's a common thing and like a guy talking about it, like it makes them feel comfortable about it. You know, guys don't talk about it enough.
No, not at all. But don't feel like the doctors or the people there are going to look at you a certain way.
No.
It's common.
It's
it happens.
not, yeah.
Like,
medical field, we don't judge unless you do like something weird.
Yeah, they wouldn't specialize in that
Right.
field, like, and think that you're the first one to
Right.
come through. They wouldn't be in business.
Exactly. And that's exactly why I always tell people bypass their primary care physician and just go straight to the person who knows it,
Yeah.
that specializes in it.
That way they can just get straight to the
Right.
point.
So that way you're not uncomfortable
Twice.
and you only have to say it one time.
Yeah.
Because if you go to your primary care physician, you got to talk about it there. And then from there, they refer you out and then you got to talk about it again.
And they're going to ask you the same thing.
Yeah. It's essentially, you're just kind of like, you're doubling up like what? And it's just unnecessary. That's why skip them and go to the urologist.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
Let's see. Oh, only older men get ED. So a lot of the times younger guys are like, they always say like, oh, I shouldn't have this. I'm not old. Well, again, it doesn't discriminate. Like older men aren't the only ones that get it. You know, it can start out at a young age. Again, could be psychological. It could be due to medical.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like everybody's body is different. Some people might not get it until they're a lot older.
Right.
But, or you think that nothing is wrong with them because they went to go get their stuff fixed.
Right.
And so you think like, well, it's not normal because like this dude that goes and gets it, he's not going to come and be like, yo, I'm on this medication, like to fix this. They're just going to be like, yeah, I've been fucking like crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to say, because that's a guy thing, right? Like they're not going to be like,
sit there like, hey, I'm on Viagra.
Exactly. They're not going to talk about these things. So that's why you'll automatically assume that, or you'll feel like you're the only one with that problem.
Right.
But no, like other people go through it.
Right.
Maybe they're not even doing anything, because there's like some people that I know that are struggling, but they don't want to do anything about it, you know, and then that's on them. Right. Mm-hmm. And maybe hopefully this gets to them too. Right. And then that way they can get their stuff fixed and realize that it's normal for guys. Like it happens. Like what the fuck? We're human.
Right.
And then I think it has a lot to do with like maybe also some of the stuff that people have been putting in foods, like can have like a long-term effect.
Right. Well, because a lot of the preservatives and hormones and things that are in food now, like they're causing us to have like
all sorts of stuff, like
diabetes, obesity,
that weird things that happen, right? Like you're just like, do you think eating processed? Because if you want to actually, I'm 37 years old. I've probably been eating some sort of processed foods for like what, 35 years now?
Yeah, McDonald's,
like every day. Well, not every day, but you know what I mean? Like if you eat something that you bought at the store, like more than likely it has like some sort of preservatives. Like if you go out to eat, depending where you went, I'm sure it's not no, they didn't get the fish right out of the pond right there. Like
no, they didn't.
So
well, I think a lot of it has to do too. It's like it's cheaper to eat out than it is to make food at home. Even to eat healthy is expensive.
Yeah, and like I know I mentioned, I think what's helped me, I didn't even realize, is that my mom doesn't really like to buy pre-made food. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like to go out to eat a whole lot. And so when we were growing up, she cooked a lot of the food, like from scratch. It wasn't like the tortilla. She would get like the masa and doing all that, and the food, the rice, everything. So it was like more handmade, like homemade stuff, compared to like if you go get something that's in a can, it's probably gonna have a lot more preservatives and like processed foods. Right. So I was
we all need moms like that.
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's helped me, because I just told you recently that I saw on IG that somebody got diagnosed with MS, and I didn't know what it was. And that's you're like, oh, like that can happen. It depends also too, like on if they like, I mean, their history, their medical history, processed foods and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dang, like 28, I'm 37. Like imagine like getting hit with that at 38. And some people I'm sure get hit a lot younger.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, just, you may think you're fine now, but make smarter choices, you know, like,
yeah, but you have to remember, like, it's expensive to like
cook
at home.
It is expensive, but and like, is it like, how much is your life worth?
Agreed, but you have to also remember, like, we live in a fast-paced world where like both parents have to work just to provide a living, right? So a lot of the times parents work like 8 to 5 jobs, right? By the time you come home, like with rush hour traffic, it's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. If you have kids in sports, sometimes you're not getting home till like 8 or 9. So a lot of the times it's a lot more easier to just go stop at McDonald's or stop somewhere and just pick up some food. Like, unless you're going to meal prep, but then like kids, if you're a mom, like kids don't want like food that they ate yesterday. You know what I mean? So it's hard. Like,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Where we live in. Yeah.
And especially now that kids are a little younger, or kids growing up now, I feel like a lot of them are getting different types of sickness now, like a lot sooner. Like like when I came out here, I didn't realize there's so many kids with diabetes.
Yeah.
Like
their eating habits.
Yeah.
Their eating habits, they're not exercising. And a lot of it stems down to the parents.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize that. So granted, I come from a smaller town, but then when I got here, of course, more people obviously means more.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I saw like, because I didn't know those little insulin things. I didn't know what that was until so one of his son, everybody knows he has diabetes, or he has those, and it shoots insulin. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
He's the one that explained it to me,
right.
what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never really noticed it. I thought it was more like a different type of medical issue. I didn't really, I was like, you have diabetes? He's like, yeah. He's like, I was born with it. And, or he got it super, no, he got it super young, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say not born with it.
Yeah, he got it super young. Mm-hmm. And then I started noticing people at these teenagers at the gym. A lot of them have these things. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Mm-hmm. I see it. I don't think I've seen somebody maybe in their 30s, 40s with those. It's mainly just like the younger crowd.
Yeah, I've seen them, both kids and older.
Yeah, but I've seen more kids or more teenagers.
Yeah. And
that's why I'm like, what are they eating?
Yeah.
Or like what? And granted, he didn't do anything to get him there, but like it could just been like.
Yeah. A lot of times it could just be they just have like a deficiency in the pancreas, because that's where essentially our glucose and all that, insulin and all that is produced from.
So try to eat a lot healthier if you can. Make smarter choices.
Yeah. Get that $5 meal at McDonald's, or that $3 meal at Circle K. Just kidding.
All right. So what are obviously going in is going to be the best remedy to figure out your problem. But is there anything somebody can do right now to see like, okay, maybe it's not something super bad. Maybe it would just like, I just needed more vitamins. I don't know. I'm not the professional here. Is there like something that a guy could go do right now and be like, hey, maybe eat or take in more of this and it should help?
I mean, there's there's vitamins out there that essentially you can take that'll help increase blood flow. Now, do they work? Nobody knows. Like realistically, there's some natural remedies you could do, like ginseng. But a lot of the remedies you want to do is ones that are going to increase blood flow. But again, like I don't know if there's any studies on that. A lot of the times, like the medical world, they don't like to like really push like natural remedies. You can try them if you want to try them, but like exercising will help. If it's like stress induced or anxiety induced, some therapy. Go get some therapy. Eating well, getting good sleep. Yeah. Like those are things that you can do.
That, and also if you're worrying about, like I know back in Idaho there's this guy, he shout out to him, like he's a doctor, but he only primarily focuses on people who don't have insurance. And so he charges a lot less, but he has his own like pay or charging structure. Mm-hmm. And you don't pay a lot. Where the most of the money or the charges come from is from the lab tests, because they charge him a certain amount to do it.
Yeah.
And then so he's like, that's what I charge people, which is it's really cool that he does that, because he's like, I like to help people who can't afford to go out and get help. Because if you go somewhere and you don't have insurance, like one of these like more high end places, you're gonna get a huge bill.
Well, yeah, because a lot of the times, unless I'm assuming if he's able to charge his own prices for labs, I'm assuming he does them in house.
No, so not the labs. He charges what the labs charge him.
Okay.
He just charges for his time that he helped you.
Okay, so he's charging his consult fee.
Yep.
Right. So a lot of
So this is how he did it. He would actually charge per minute. So you come in And for however long you're in there, he charges you a certain amount, which is not a lot, by the way. Like, because he was explaining all this to me because we went to the same gym, and he say you were there for like a certain amount of time. Say it ended up being like $80, right? And then a $30 lab fee. You just paid like what, about $110?
Yeah.
To get diagnosed or whatever it is, consult, some labs, and then he'll call you and tell you what's the issue. He's like, we can put you on this and we can put you on this. Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You know, and
That's
so
nice.
Which helps a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe just look around in your area too. Like, because I know some people are going to be like, yeah, but I don't have the insurance to go get checked. Maybe there's somebody around that can do like some of these basic tests for you, or even talk to the like wherever you go.
Yeah.
Because I know some places actually, if you don't have insurance, they have some sort of like payment structure they can do
Like
with
sliding,
you.
it's called sliding scale fee.
Yeah, like they can work with you,
Yeah.
right? Because they want to help, but they try to make money too. So.
Well, I haven't seen many that do payment plans anymore, but they do have what's called a sliding scale fee, where it's kind of based on your financial like situation, and they give you like they charge you less essentially. Now, if you have to have labs done, that's different because they have to go through like a third parties like Sonora Quest, LabCorp. They charge their own prices. So whatever they charge you, that's a separate bill. That's why when you said that's why I said the doctor must do his labs in-house, because in-house meaning like he does them at his facility, like he does his own lab.
No, he sends them out. He said that he sends them out to a lab.
So he must have a contract with them.
Maybe because he sends them to a lab. They test them there, and then they send him the results afterwards. And so he must have like figured it out.
Yeah, he must have a contract with them because
he's able.
Labs don't do that.
Yeah, he's able to charge not very much.
Right.
You know, because maybe somebody who works at that lab is also like, I like to help people. Like I get it. And so I'm willing to work with this doctor who is also helping people. Because the majority of his clients were Hispanic, because if they're here without papers, it's a little harder to get like insurance, or even the ones that did have papers, they were working at the potato field and they don't get paid a lot. And so they can't, and they don't even offer them any type of insurance. And so now the little that they make, and now going to a doctor, having to spend it all, you know, so he's like, I like to be an option for most people. And so he was doing, actually, he didn't do his, like, what I liked is that he wasn't he wasn't trying to be rich. He was just trying to help.
Right.
Like
essentially when we go in the medical field, we should be doing that.
Yeah. Like he was just there to help. Like he wasn't driving a super fancy car. He was just like, he's like, as long as I'm helping people, he's like, that's all that matters. He also has a cleft palate too, by the way.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. That's how I noticed, like we started talking first is because I noticed his cleft palate, and then he noticed mine, and that's how we started talking, and he told me.
There's like, hey.
Yeah. The same thing happens with people with cameras. I'm like, hey, you have a camera.
Yeah.
All right. So do pills like Viagra actually work for most men?
So.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Yes. So it does. So Viagra does help for most men. Now, sometimes it won't help if you have like circulatory problems or like other like underlying issues like diabetes and things like that. But majority of the time it does help. Now, this is why I say you should go see a urologist, because they can prescribe the appropriate ones, because there's different medications out there. Yeah, there's Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, kind of just depending on what works out for you. And there's different milligrams, different strengths of it. I know somebody who would take like a low dose Cialis, like a 5 milligrams daily. And that kind of helped. And then on the times that it didn't help, they would like pop a Viagra. Now, I'm not saying do that. This is why you go see a urologist. But I have known people who have done that in the past, but they were older.
Okay. So before you start jumping on something like that, maybe go get checked first.
Absolutely.
Because I know, I mean,
well, you need a prescription for it anyway, so you have to go get checked.
But here's the thing.
Mexico.
Not just Mexico. There's other ways to get stuff.
Oh, I know there is.
And so that's why I'm saying, like, just go get checked first.
Right.
And if whatever they're giving you is too expensive, then get it wherever you like.
Well, not only that, like people, they go get it from somewhere. You don't know if it's like true Viagra, true
Or what's in it.
Cialis. Yeah, like not only that, like last thing you want to do is like take a medication. And what if that's not even the reason? Like what if you're taking a Viagra and like the only reason is psychological. Now you took Viagra and now you have a hard on for like hours. And then now you have to go to the emergency room. How embarrassing is that?
Because you can't.
So because then now you have to go to emergency room. You're just like, well, I popped Viagra. Well, now I have this hard on going on for like hours and it's painful.
Yeah.
So then now you have to go there and then now they have to figure out. Now everybody knows.
Yeah. Now it's a lot worse.
Yeah.
So definitely go get checked first before you start taking
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
You never, and that goes
And
with
don't take your friends or like somebody you know.
Exactly. And that just goes for any medication. Like don't take a medication. Go get medical advice before you start taking something. Because last thing you want is have like a bad reaction and now you have to go to the emergency room and then it becomes even more costly.
Yeah. And so the next one that I have is because we're in the treatment options right here. Is therapy or counseling helpful for ED? I know you answered this a little bit, caused by anxiety or relationship issues.
Yes. Because, and this goes for even people who who take Viagra because they have like true ED. Because a lot of the times, even though you take Viagra, sometimes it doesn't work because you're stressed or you have like performance anxiety taking it. And not only that, like people who are diagnosed with diabetes and like heart disease and they're giving Viagra because they have ED, a lot of the times like they worry about like their health and that can also like contribute to having ED while on Viagra.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I feel like if it's like psychological, therapy does help because you go and there's different kind of therapies. There's cognitive therapy, there's couples therapy, and then there's sex therapy, right? So getting help from one of them, essentially just talking about it and kind of getting down to like what the issue is, right? And then fixing that issue.
Yeah.
And it's okay to go to therapy, guys.
Yes.
It doesn't make you crazy.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we just need to talk to somebody, a third party person, because sometimes there's things that we don't want to disclose to like friends and family because obviously we don't want anybody knowing like our dirty laundry.
Mm-hmm.
So talking to a third party and that person's not going to be judgmental. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. It's okay. Everybody goes to therapy. I've gone to therapy.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're trying to help yourself.
It helps.
You know,
it really helps.
And so a lot of this stuff I get why they ask me because they want somebody else to give them some sort of like, to tell them what they already know, you know,
Right.
But hearing it from somebody who has no interest in either party,
Right.
like I get it. But also there's certain things that I'm just like, go see a therapist. I was like, I don't know how to, like, I can't tell you how to fix something. Like if you give me a scenario, I'll give you my thoughts on what I think is happening.
Right.
But like traumas or like
Things like that.
Like you need to go get help for that because
Oh, yeah.
they know how to ask you the right questions to get
to narrow it down.
To what
to
it
get down
is.
to the issue. Yeah.
And don't ever be afraid to like same thing. Like they're not there to judge you.
No.
And they
hear everything. They've heard it all. So don't feel like your issue is like it's rare. It's not.
Yeah. And like you have to like you should be okay with paying them because I remember somebody was like, I'm not gonna pay somebody to tell them my problems. Like they have to make a living.
Right.
So of course they have to charge you because they can't go. I'm sure they don't want to go work a full-time job and then do this and like charge you very little.
Right.
You know, like if this is something they're gonna pursue full time, kind of like wherever you work, I'm sure you wouldn't be like you'd get upset and be like, oh, I'm not gonna go to your because I don't want to pay you. Like I'm not gonna pay you to fix me. Right? No, like that's what they're there for. They're making a living just like you make a living wherever you're working at.
Exactly. And not only that, like they specialize in it.
Yeah, and if they're in business, they're probably doing a good job.
Exactly. And look at ratings, guys.
Yeah.
I'm big on ratings.
And so that's why I'm like, pay attention to the ratings, how long they've been in business.
Yeah.
Because if they just opened, I don't know how.
I mean, no, because sometimes when people open up their own practice, they left a bigger practice.
Well, yeah, you'll be able to see like, oh, formerly at, you know.
Yeah, a lot of the time, read the bios too. Like read the bios on
have been doing it for this
their
long,
credentials and things like that. Also, I wanted to mention, like talk to your HR, your human resources at work. Sometimes your employments or where you work at offers what's called employee assistance programs, EAP programs. And they offer like a certain amount of like sessions for free that I believe reset themselves every month. But if you have like stress, anxiety, you don't even have to let HR know that that's why. Just ask if they have an EAP program. And I believe you call the number and you kind of let them know like what's going on. And then they'll give you an auth number, and that auth number, including they'll email you like where you can use this at, and you can get like free sessions of
what was
therapy.
that again? EAP?
It's EAP, Employee Assistance Program. A lot of like employments offer it. They don't have to. A lot of the bigger corporations offer it, but it doesn't hurt to ask if they offer it.
Because you never know.
Exactly. And if you have insurance, if you look on the back of the card, they do have what's like a behavioral number that you can call. You can call that and they're going to ask you questions. And these people, it's completely like, it's confidential. But it can also be covered for free and you don't have to pay anything on that. So those are definitely things that like people aren't aware of or educated on, that they can utilize.
Because they don't ask questions. All right, and so we're gonna get into this one is like some relationship / mental health side of things. How can ED affect a man's relationship or mental health?
So we talked about this. Yep. So it can affect them. One, because behind their, in back of their head, they're like, I'm not a man. Like, I can't even get my thing up. I can't please my woman. She's going to go cheat on me. Like they have a lot of those things kind of stemming in the back of their brain, which causes like stress, anxiety. Not only that, like the one time that it happens, the next time they have sex, in the back of their mind, they're thinking like, what if I go limp again? So then that essentially causes performance anxiety, right? So the guy's already mentally going to go in to have sex with his like wife / girlfriend or whatever side chick, and is going to think, well, I couldn't get it up last time. What if it happens this time? And then guess what?
It happens.
It can affect it again. Yeah. So a lot of the times I feel like guys beat themselves up over it. When realistically it's not something to beat yourself up over. Obviously, like as a man, like you want to be able to perform, right? You want to like get it in there and you want to like give the girl like rock her world. But like essentially like if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, so what? Like, next time, like just don't overthink it. And it's easier said than done, right? Yeah. But if it continues to happen, like obviously like at that point, and if it's a bothersome to you, even after the first time, if it is a bothersome to you, it doesn't hurt to go get checked, right? So.
And the reason that one's a big relationship one is because, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, it's going to affect your partner too. Because they're going to start thinking that maybe you're cheating.
Them. Yeah.
Maybe it's them. Maybe you don't find them attractive anymore. Maybe you don't love them anymore. Like they go through all the motions too. So now that's going to cause problems in your guys' relationships because, maybe her first reaction is like, he's cheating.
Right.
And so now she goes into investigating mode. Yeah. And so now that the relationship could take a different path because just because you couldn't get it up, she's thinking you're cheating.
Right. Yeah.
You get accused of cheating. Now the relationship is like sour.
Well, yeah. Not only that, like I said, women tend to overthink. Like we always jump to like, is it me? Is he cheating? Is there something that I did? Could I do something better? Like, is it my body? Especially like women who have kids, right? They automatically think like it's like a body image issue. So, and then it causes arguments, right? Because then the girl's like, she's upset. Then the guy's upset because he can't perform, and she's upset because she's wondering like what the hell's going on, right?
And then he's upset that she's upset,
right? And nobody's communicating. So then essentially now you're have like this anger issue, and you start to argue, but realistically, we're not saying why we're arguing, right? So that's
that, and like if you depending on the person too, I feel like if you get her to the point where she's like super upset, she's gonna throw petty shots at you. And then it's going to make the guy even more upset. She's going to be like, well, at least somebody else can get it up or something. Like, and now the guy's going to be like,
That is so
pissed.
rude. Don't do that.
But you know, like people throw petty shots when like
I know, but then that
depending
makes
on
it worse.
that's why I'm saying like it just escalates to something
Yeah.
worse and worse that it didn't need to get to.
Yeah, ladies, don't do that.
if
That's not nice.
If you would have just done the proper things in the beginning and
Right.
you know
Yeah.
communicated and got
Exactly.
things fixed.
And stop putting on your FBI cap. Stop thinking that he's automatically cheating. Just
Yeah.
ask straight out, like, hey, what's wrong? Like, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And sometimes even if like the woman has to initiate it, that's fine. And if he says he's not ready to talk about it, that's completely fine. And just say
But at
like,
least
hey,
she knows
just so
that-
you know, like, I'm here to talk whenever you want to. If you don't want to talk to me, like, how can I support you? You know, can I schedule an appointment for you? Like, just be that supportive person, but don't keep pushing and pushing and pushing to make him tell you, because that's a very touchy subject for a guy. And that's the last thing he wants to tell you is like, hey, like, I think there's something wrong with something down there, right? But just be supportive.
Okay. And then you also mentioned this earlier, is just like the advice that you could give on men who feel ashamed and embarrassed about it. It's basically it's common.
Yeah.
Like you may feel like it's only happening to you, but there's a reason why these doctors are in business is because it's a huge problem.
Yeah. And that's why I say go to a urologist, because a lot of the times, 99% of the times, those guys are all there for ED. People don't go there just because they want to go there. I mean, if you're going to give a vasectomy, you get a vasectomy. That's where you would go.
Or if they're going to go get a check, they don't go there to get a checkup. Like
like a regular checkup. That's why, like, just bypass everything, go straight to a urologist, and it'll like help kind of like decrease the stress and the anxiety of having to go to the doctor, because now you know, like, this guy, he sees it all the time. Like, this is nothing to him. This is his job. This is his main focus.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to get into some of these like relatable questions. Is can watching too much porn affect your performance?
Absolutely.
And so that's why like sometimes they can't get it up.
Yes, absolutely. Because if a guy watches too much porn, it kind of desensitizes them, right? It disassociates them from the world. Kind of like, so porn is made for entertainment purposes only, right? I know there are couples that like to watch porn when they're having sex, whatever. That's fine. But like when a guy watches too much sex, like porn is like different from reality, right? Porn is like you're role playing, and role playing leads to like sex, and it's sometimes it can be a little hardcore sex, right? So when men watch that, they see that, and then when it comes to like perform, right? Like sometimes a lady doesn't want to be like railed that hard, right? And maybe that's the only thing that the guy, like, it turns him on to do that.
They've been seeing it so much that's the only thing that's turning them on.
Yeah, they can't separate what's reality and what's like entertainment. So to them, they think like, oh, I watched this porn and the girl loved it. Like she was moaning, she was doing XYZ. Like that's what I want to hear. And I've known some people where they'll watch a certain type of porn, like a certain like ethnicity, like, you know, and they like the way the girl moans, right? And that is what turns them on during sex. And they'll ask their girl, like, hey, can you moan like this? And we're like, what the fuck? Like, no, like I have my own moan. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like when guys watch porn, there are certain things that they see on there that turns them on, that when it comes to perform like in real life, they're not going to get that from there. They're not like,
because some of the topics that they look at or searches are some crazy stuff, you know? Yeah. And then maybe, again, I'm not saying you are not their type, but sometimes they look up what they want in a girl. Mm-hmm. Like maybe they're looking up blonde, white,
Asian,
girl, you know, like, and that's their search history.
Right.
There's a reason they keep looking that up, you know? It's not because
it's their type.
Yeah, it's their type. Or some people like just the craziness of some of these videos is like, even though they're fake,
right?
It's real sex, but they're fake.
Right.
It's all staged.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, and so they don't realize that no one's gonna come over and knock on your door and be like, "Hey, can I fix your plumbing?" You know, and then like walk inside and be like, "Hey, oh, that's nice."
Yeah.
You know, and then it lead to something like that. Or like some of these things are like crazy. Like man sleeps with stepsister, right? You know, or brother sleeps with stepsister.
Yeah. Or
And
like
for
man sleeps with college girl with
Yeah.
big titties.
Yeah. And I'm just like, that's
It's
what's
crazy.
turning them
Oh
on.
yeah.
And so like, if you notice that your person is struggling with ED and they watch a lot of that, it could have a big
Effect on it.
Yeah, it could have a big effect.
And the only thing for that, honestly, is just therapy.
Yeah, there's no, I'll stop.
No, it's hard. Once you're in it, that's it.
Because they're going to find it somewhere.
It's an addiction.
They have their phone.
Yeah.
You're not with them 24/7.
Yeah.
They're going to do it now when you're not around.
That's the problem, are the phones.
Yeah. They're going to do it when you're not around now. Because now they know like you're watching.
Right.
They're going to start maybe
deleting their histories.
Deleting history, getting a separate card that you don't know about. So it charges the card, not like a joint bank account or something like that. Because if there's a joint and you see, what's this charge?
Right. No, sometimes there are guys that like, they'll get a separate bank account without their wife knowing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just to do that stuff. Like,
yeah. And
that's when you should notice it's a problem. Like if they're spending a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
And a lot of their time and they're not even focusing on you.
Yeah.
Like what more do you need?
Exactly.
Like to notice that there's a problem.
And not only that, like sometimes guys who watch a lot of porn and they can't get what they're seeking at home, what they would get from porn, they'll actually pay for sex.
Yeah.
I've like known like a couple people who've done that.
Yeah, like
because if I'm paying somebody to have sex, you're gonna do what I say. Yeah. So
and they I mean I've seen like videos and stuff where they basically like tell them what they want. That's why like on OF girls have like requests. Like you can pay a certain amount and request something, and no matter how weird, usually they do it. Oh, I want you to do this with this on.
Well, yeah, because they're paying them.
And if you're gonna pay them, they're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know, but there's a reason the guy asked that.
Because what they want.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting that at home. Right.
They didn't. Or maybe they asked you.
Right.
Again, we're not blaming everything all on guys. Maybe they did ask you, and you said no.
Yeah.
And now that's a problem.
Well, it depends. Like I feel like ladies, like if a guy makes a request, as long as it's not obnoxious, just try it.
Or crazy.
Like something crazy. Like don't just try it. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, like
because you may like it.
Yeah, maybe if he wants to try a certain position, certain toy, maybe role play.
Yeah.
Try it.
Right.
You know, because if that's something he really wants,
right,
he's gonna find it either in porn,
right,
or in real life.
Exactly.
And because that's why like I talk about on some of these TikToks is if you notice your partner, because it could be either way, is vanilla in the beginning, that's the best time to change. Yeah. Like, hey, maybe let's do this. Oh, I loved it when you do this. Can you do more of this? Yes. 5 years down the road, it's going to be really difficult to change them because they're going to be like, we've been together for 5 years and now it's a problem.
Yeah.
That's why like pay attention to the intimacy, especially in the beginning when you get to know somebody. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get you to like them.
Yeah.
Because they want you to like them. They want you to stay. They want you to want them.
Yeah.
So they're willing to do some of these things.
Right.
But if you bring it up 5 years down the road, they're going to be like, why?
Well, and not only that, they're going to be like, oh, you're cheating on me.
Yeah, where'd you learn this?
Yeah,
you know,
like where did you pick this new move up at?
And so that's why like just try things.
Yeah.
And especially in the beginning. And again, if the girl has a request and you've never done it,
just try it.
And if the guy has a request and you've never done it, even if it's wearing like something, just throw it on. Maybe it's because
well, you want to keep the spark, right?
Yeah.
Like you want spontaneous, you want to keep the spark, like. And it's there's nothing wrong with it, like role playing. Like sometimes it's fun. You want to keep things fun. And then I feel like sometimes like mothers or whatever, couples who have kids, they feel like they can't do that. Yeah, you can. You can do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you can't do it.
Yeah, don't be complaining later on
right.
when you're having relationship intimacy issues because like I get it, being a mom is a full-time job.
Yes.
You know, being a guy like that goes to work full time, it's stressful.
Yeah.
But
you guys still have your needs. You're both horny.
Exactly.
Right. And just go do it in the closet.
As long as you guys can fulfill them. And again, sometimes it's difficult because I understand kids want to come sleep in the bed and like now you have that. But you can find 15, 20 minutes.
It could. Oh, always.
Like,
Yeah.
you can find a quick 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And like do something, right? Or have a day with the grandparents. Send them with your uncle.
No, and not only that, like there's babysitters. Like you can find like babysitters on like apps on Facebook Marketplace. Even like your like what do you say? Life at Idaho Falls or whatever.
Like Facebook
there's
pages.
people that put down there that they are looking for babysitting jobs.
Yeah, and as long like
all you need is 2 hours, you're good.
Yeah, like something that would be fun or fine. 'Cause I don't have kids, but I would be okay with like somebody coming over and staying there with the kids and me having a bunch of cameras up already. So I know what's going on.
Right.
So like if something happened, be like, oh, what happened? Oh, he fell over here. You look.
Right.
He fell.
And not only that, like ask your nieces and nephews. Mexicans, you have a lot of nieces and nephews.
And they're willing to make a quick,
some
quick cash. So
exactly.
So definitely don't be afraid to like try something. But
yeah,
definitely porn is a huge, it can be huge in ED.
Yeah.
And it could be huge in other, like, even if they still get it, they could still get it hard, but not want you.
But not maintain it.
Yeah. Right. No, but not want them.
Right.
They're just like, because I've had the question too. They're like, he chooses to watch that over me. So like when you notice it's a problem or a small little problem, bring it up.
But not in an argument way. Yeah. Like just subtly bring it up.
Yeah, be like, what?
Like, hey, I've noticed you've been watching a lot of porn lately. Like, you know, is it like, how often are you watching it? Like, you know, is that something
is there something
that, do you
I
really
can do?
like it?
Or like something I can do?
Right. And if you can incorporate porn into like your sex life and see if that like works, like just popping up the porn and maybe just him watching it and having sex with you. Maybe that helps. I'm not saying don't do it all the time. Yeah. I'm not saying like that's the solution, but just try different things. Try solutions, you know, work with it, you know?
Absolutely. So. Does testosterone therapy actually help or make it worse?
So if it's like medical testosterone, yes, it does help. It helps if you have low testosterone. If you don't have low testosterone, it's not going to help. So, yes, it does help. Sometimes even if you're on testosterone therapy, some may still need to be on like supplements like Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and all that stuff.
So something like that.
Yeah.
All right. And what's something most men don't realize that's hurting their sex drive? So I would just say it's like maybe it could be their medication too, because
medication.
That's a side effect in some medications, especially you said like diabetes.
Yeah, so medications like medications for blood pressures. So there's certain types. So there's certain types of blood pressure medications. You have your beta blockers, which beta blockers are actually the ones that actually contribute to erectile dysfunction. And the reason is because it affects your epinephrine, and the epinephrine you need in order to like get yourself going. But there are other medications that you can try. And again, it's people don't know what a beta blocker is, but it's like metoprolol, atenolol, a lot of if the last four OL. But if you're man or guy, if you're on a high blood pressure medication, you notice that it's affecting you, just go back to your doctor. Let them know what's going on. There are other blood pressure medications that they can prescribe. Also, there's loop diuretics, which are water pills. Those can also affect you. But if there's ever any medication that affects you, like just go see your doctor. Because
that could. I mean, I would say look at the side effects, because if it's listed on there, it could be that. Right. Because when they list side effects, it's not that you're gonna get all of them.
Right.
Is that depending on your body, this could affect it.
Right.
And so maybe you're taking a medication, and you're like, oh shit, like maybe. Right. Could it be this? Right. Maybe. And then that's why you talk to your doctor. Be like, hey, I've noticed ever since I started taking this, like I'm having issues. And then they might, go from there.
Yeah. And they see it all the time. Don't think that just because you're going in there and you're complaining about it, it's a common side effect that people can complain about. Another medication is like antipsychotics for like bipolar. Depression medications also can affect it. So definitely if you ever notice that there's a new medication you started and you've kind of like noticed the issue, just go back to your doctor, talk to him about it. There's so many medications out there that they can try out. a lot of the older medications are the ones where you'll see a lot more side effects to it. But there are newer ones out there that you can try. It's like a trial and error, honestly.
Yeah.
So definitely go talk to your doctor.
What about, because this is actually something common that a lot of people do. Something like Coke. Like, would that
Drugs.
affect?
Oh, absolutely.
Coke, maybe some sort of like like
A
the
hallucinant.
LSD, ecstasy,
Shrooms.
Shrooms. Would
Yeah.
those have any effect? Because
Yeah, because they are all impair the brain,
Mm.
right? So how if your brain is impaired, how are you going to focus like on this girl who's like ready to like get railed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can't focus on that because your brain is like impaired. So I mean, everybody here has been high before, right? When we're high, like can we even focus on what the hell we're doing? No, we're focusing on like one, you like to be high, right? So you're focusing on maintaining that high. And then two, like you can't even do anything because you're mentally impaired. You
Well,
can't
yeah.
focus, you can't concentrate, like let alone you have so much already going on in your brain.
and it also, I think it depends on like the type of drug that you take, because there's some drugs, like for example, if you're a little drunk, we've all had like some drunk sex. It's great, it's amazing,
Right.
but there's the point where it can be too much, right?
Alcohol?
So imagine somebody who's on like shrooms and is like hallucinating.
Right.
They're not even thinking.
No,
of-
nobody wants to have
right?
sex when they're like
And so,
high as hell.
and then
It's
same
the
with
last thing on your mind.
same with Coke. It could be a huge issue. Like
Yeah.
if you know your man is like heavy, like girls know.
Oh, you can tell when they're like, or they get like random nosebleeds.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're sniffing a lot, like, and it ain't allergy season.
that and like, well, some people know, like
Mm-hmm.
not even like those symptoms. They just know their man does it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's some people I know that do it all the time too, and I'm just like, well, I don't know how their intimacy life is, but
Right.
like
Maybe we should ask them.
they're so. It's crazy how common it is.
Yeah.
Coke is. Like, I've only done it one time in my life and never again. Right? And just because I didn't like how it felt,
Right.
I went from being like pretty drunk to like fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And I didn't like that because
Yeah.
I can see why people do that. They like get too lit, take a line, get too lit again, take another one.
Right.
And then it's just like back and forth, and it
Yeah,
fucks
but you
people
would
up.
have to be a heavy Coke user for you to see it like affect you, like ED problems.
Yeah, but it definitely can.
But
though,
in the
'cause-
moment, in the moment, yeah, with any drug.
yeah, because there's a lot of like some people would be taking a lot, which is
I
crazy
know.
to me.
I've known some people who do it, like I've seen them do it like 10 or 20 times in like less than 2 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah, like it's a normal thing.
It's
like,
disgusting.
Yeah,
Don't do it, guys.
no.
It's bad for you guys. I can educate you guys on how bad it is for you.
What's the weirdest or more surprising cause of ED that you've came across?
So a lot of guys don't know this, but like your style choices can affect you. So I know a lot of my guys
Like my
who-
fashion?
yeah, like I know a lot of my guys like to wear the little tight pants. That can actually, yeah. So that
Oh,
can
I see what you
actually,
mean.
yeah. So that can actually kind of affect you if you wear tight pants constantly because you're putting a lot of pressure like in that area and you can cause like nerve damage to that area, you know? So definitely tight pants can contribute to that. If you're a huge cycler, so if you ride bikes and things like that, that can definitely affect you. And the reason is because you're putting a lot of pressure in the perineum area, which is the area that guys like to have rubbed. I'm just kidding. In between like your nutsack and your butthole.
What do they call it?
Perineum.
Well, that's the medical term.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what guys call it.
The couch? No, is it the couch?
I don't know.
I
Guys
forgot.
like it. They act like they don't like it. They like it.
It does nothing for me.
But yeah, so that area, when you're putting a lot of pressure in that area, if you're a huge cycler, but they do make like outfits where it kind of helps like release that pressure from that area. But that's one of them that'll affect it. And then also sitting down for long periods of time.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So get up and be active a little bit more.
like don't I mean, yeah, if you sit down all
Because
day, get up
if you sit down all day at work and then you just go home
and sit down again.
like you're
Yeah.
not being active at all.
No.
First of all, health wise, you're gonna deteriorate fast.
Right.
That's why, like, even my mom yells at my dad all the time because the doctor was like, you need to get up and move. Because he all day at work, he's on a forklift. He's working. He's on a forklift all day, sitting down.
Right.
And then after work, he does a few things here and there. Then he just goes and like relaxes.
Well, I mean, he's tired.
I get he's tired, but I've always said that when I get older, I still want to be active.
Right.
Moving, because I've seen some of these older guys who like super active. They still walk around just fine, and it's because they're not doing heavy exercises. Right. They're just moving.
Right.
Like they're not going all days. Like
go do some yard work,
walk.
Yeah.
Just go for a walk. That's what the doctor keeps telling my dad.
Walk the dog.
Like go for a walk.
Right.
Go around the block. You know, like it's gonna help your knees, your mobility, and be able to move long term.
Right.
I think it's kind of like businesses. Like most businesses, they don't think what they're doing. Well, bigger businesses, they don't think what's going on in the next 2 years, 1 year, 30 days. They're thinking of like, where are we going to be at 10 years from now? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, I feel like people who think like when the doctor says exercise, they think like go to the gym, go running. Like, no, it's as little as like going for a walk or like doing some yard work. Like just exercising just means like you're doing something to get your heart pumping so that blood and circulatory and all of that stuff. So
because so I've been right now. It's a goal of mine to get at least 10,000 steps a day, and so that's why I got my walking pad right there. So I need
that walking pad.
So I can just like, you know what I mean? Like watch something, listen to music. The other day I threw on a podcast and I was just like, I wasn't watching. Well, I was watching it and like listening to it, and I got the steps in, and before I knew it, I was like, oh shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, now the rest of the day, like if you want to do it in the morning and knock it out real quick, the rest of the day is just extra.
Right.
You know, like now you going to be even more active that day and you feel better. So just so stay active. Stay active.
Just be a nurse. When you're a nurse, you're on your feet all day.
Well, you know, if you're at home listening to this, hopefully you were doing it on a walking pad. And but like
you can watch, what is that one show that everybody's on, Love Island? You can get on a walking pad and watch Love Island.
Yeah. I got mine from Amazon, $150, worth it.
Or go on Facebook Marketplace. They have them
because
there.
there's people who buy them that don't do anything.
Use them. Yep.
And so they go and turn around and sell them.
Right.
And you can save yourself like $50-$60.
Right.
So or just don't wait for that. Like if you don't see one and when you go searching, just go to yard sales. Yard sales, they always selling treadmills. Yeah. Not the walking
Nobody
pads.
has yard sales anymore.
Well, maybe
very seldom.
Out here, I haven't seen as much.
Yeah.
But in Idaho, all through like May, June, July, August.
Yeah.
It's like yard sales season.
Like
and like
galore.
Yeah, and like some neighborhoods actually like all get together and throw one big one. And so like everybody down the road.
Like a block party.
Yeah, everybody down the road has one because I've participated in some over there. I remember the first one we did, it was like, I think like 10 houses down one road did it.
Dang.
And so it was so packed with people.
Did you buy anything?
No, I was at the one of the houses. It was at my parents' house.
Dang.
And so that's when I saw how much people were there, you know?
Yeah. No, not here.
So, and you can find stuff like that depending on where you're at. So
yeah, I feel like here a lot of people just post their things on like Facebook Marketplace.
It's a lot easier now.
Offer up.
Well, it's because you can get a better price.
Well, not only that, like people don't want people to know where they live at. You know what I mean? Like people are crazy nowadays.
Yeah, that and like they don't want to sell. When people go to yard sale, they want yard sale prices, and so.
And not only that, like when you have a yard sale, you're there all day and you're taking up your time all day. So for them, it's just easier to sell online because then somebody wants to buy it, they see it, then okay, hey, let's meet here. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some questions that people have asked.
Okay.
So is it me or him when he says, "Oh, it's so embarrassing. It works when it wants to"?
Obviously, it's not you, ladies. You have no control over how his
body reacts.
Right. So you have no control over that. It's not you. Obviously, it's him. It's his body part, not yours. So no, it's not you. But if he does say that is your cue to like just jump in there and be like, okay, well, how about we like look into it more? You know, like even if it's just like pulling up your symptoms on the internet, sometimes that's easy. Just put in your symptoms, like whatever symptoms a guy is having, put that in the internet. But if a guy says that like directly to you, that's like your cue to kind of jump in and be the supportive one, right? But don't be mean about it, you know? Just,
or if you see this clip or podcast, send it to him.
Yes.
Be like, look, this is what they were talking about. Like, it's actually very common.
Right.
Because now if he hears another guy talking about it and how common it is and how, because especially if they're Mexican,
right,
they're going to be like, fuck no, I'm not going to the doctor.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to the doctor to begin with.
Yeah.
And now even less if it has something to do with their dick.
Right. And not only that, every guy has gone limp or had a limp noodle mid-sex. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Every guy has experienced it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Like,
now, it's different if that's you try to be intimate every time.
yes, that's different. But if it's once in a while and it happens, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Ladies, it's not a big deal. If it happens like once in a while, it's not you. You don't know what's going through his head. Like if he was able to get aroused and get it up while you guys are touching, kissing, whatever, it's not you, girl. It's not you.
It's just something internally.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Somebody else asks, is it true? It's temporary?
It's temporary if it's psychological, but if it has something to do with medical, no.
That's something that they're gonna have to remain taking, which is not bad.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You know the problem now.
Right.
And you know the fix.
If they're younger, I feel like it is something that's temporary. Again, it doesn't discriminate. But if they're older and they have like heart disease or diabetes and all that stuff, no.
Okay. And then, does Viagra help? My ex used to take Sildenafil. Sildenafil? Is that
Sildenafil.
Sildenafil.
That's the generic version.
20 milligrams, but never worked after he afterwards he said I was ugly.
The fuck? Girl, leave him. Leave him. Nobody should be calling you ugly. You're beautiful. I don't know what you look like, but you're beautiful.
Just because, first of all, just because it's not working.
That?
Like,
it seems like he's trying to blame her for it. When really it's just his shit doesn't work.
Yeah, he's trying to blame her, and maybe it.
That's when you throw the petty shots.
Yeah, that's why because I'm never always trying to. I try to look at both sides.
Yeah.
What if you were telling him stuff, and then finally he got so mad to the point where it was because
devil's advocate right now.
Yeah, it was because you were fucking. It's because you're fucking ugly. That's why I can't get it up.
Okay, so yeah,
because maybe she was throwing him petty shots.
Yeah,
because. Okay, it could have happened where she was just like talking to him about it and he got so mad that he was like, well, maybe it's because you're ugly, you know? But I feel like it had to take a lot more for him to say that. For a guy to call you
flat out ugly, that's fucked up.
You know, like
I'd be pissed.
What were you telling him? Like there's more context behind that.
Yeah.
But if he just said that out of nowhere, because out of frustration,
that's crazy.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, not only that, like 20 milligrams of Viagra, that's kind of a low dose for Viagra. Like most guys that I've known that been on Viagra, it's been like 100 milligrams. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a nurse. Like I can't diagnose. I can only educate. But I agree with you. If he flat out told you were ugly, that's fucked up. And I feel like that's just him trying to like put the blame on you. But if you were throwing petty shots at him and that's what came out,
or how were you? It brings me back to the point where you're like, don't corner him.
Right. Don't like push him to like tell you.
Be like, well, this, like maybe it's this,
Right.
And maybe he was like, well, maybe it's because you're ugly. You know, like
That's
so
crazy.
there's so much more context we need behind that. Because again, I don't want guys to feel like I sit here and attack them.
Right.
I want to know.
And if you don't want to ask Edgar, you can ask me, guys.
Like I'm just giving both scenarios here of what could have happened.
Exactly.
Because maybe he hears this and he's like, that's not what the fuck happened. Like, she was telling me I was I'm gonna go get dick somewhere else because you can't get it hard, you know, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So again, but if he did tell you that, that's a problem. Like, and you're just trying to be supportive, but also, did you corner him?
Right.
Or were you throwing petty? Yeah. Were you throwing him petty shots?
To that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we would need more context on that.
Exactly. So,
That's crazy.
Why does booger sugar affect my man's boner every time? And I think you
Booger
talked
what?
about booger sugar, cocaine.
Oh, I was like, what?
But you talked about it earlier. Like it could have an effect if he's a heavy user,
Right.
long-term user.
Yeah.
Of course, is going to have anything that affects your brain. It's
Yeah.
going to affect it down there.
Yeah.
But if he only does it occasionally, it might not be that.
Correct. Yeah. And if you're hitting him up while he's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if he's a heavy user, he definitely needs some help. But if it happens occasionally, maybe it's just because you caught him while he was on it.
True. See, and we get this a lot, ladies. That's why, like, I wanted her to answer these. Does the woman's physical have anything to do with it? Like their physical body? It was misspelled, but that's what.
Absolutely not. It should not.
Because if it worked before.
Right. Like I said, like if the man is able, if you're able to arouse him pre like having sex, it's not you. It's not, because he still finds you attractive if he's able to still like get an erection before having sex. Now, if he goes limp mid it, it's still not you. It has nothing to do with you. And a lot of the times I feel like women, we tend to like blame ourselves. That's the first thing we do. We bring ourselves down. But just again, think about it. Like if he was able to get it up before and you were able to arouse him, there's still some physical attraction there. So no, it has nothing to do with like your body. It has nothing to do with any of that. If he goes limp mid through it, it could just be anything else. But no, it's not you, ladies. Again, you don't control it. It's him. It's his body part. He controls it.
Yeah, and then also I just remembered this, that it could also, because some people ask, do you think he's cheating on me? And it could be that too, because now the reason I say it, like, he could be wanting this person more than he wants you.
Right.
Like now being intimate with you doesn't turn him on as much.
Right.
And so sometimes, like if he tries to, he's like thinking about her. And then there was that, when I went live with some people about cheating, he was cheating on his wife with some mistress, right? Side piece. She wanted to call herself the girlfriend. You're a side piece, mistress, if you're married. He felt bad sleeping with his wife because he thought he was cheating on his side piece. You know what I mean? And so I get
at that point he needs to leave.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's something that could definitely happen too as well. So I would just say it could be cheating. Again, there's so much more.
Right. But there will be signs if he's cheating, right? He's going to pretty much throw you to the back burner. Like he's not going to want to touch you. He's going to treat you a certain type of way. Like you're always going to anger him. He's going to be very secretive about his phone, and he's going to want to spend less time with you. So you'll know if he's cheating on you. Trust me. Trust.
Okay.
I know.
From experience.
Yes. And
what were some of the...
Yes. So they kind of tend to throw you in the back burner. So like he would get, so any little thing I did, he'd get triggered and he would just like yell at me, or he would be upset at me, or he would like find reasons like not to be around me. He'd be on his computer. He would go to the room and watch TV on his own. Treated me differently. Like wouldn't text me all day. Like he would go texting me all day to like not texting me. Wouldn't want to touch me, wouldn't want to have sex with me, like, things like that. So you'll know, you can tell.
Yeah.
And not only that, like ladies, there are apps out there, WhatsApp, there's Line app that a lot of these guys like to use. Like they like to use them. That's how I caught mine. He was using some like app that was called Line app, which is equivocal to WhatsApp.
Line?
Line, Line.
What is do you know what the icon looks like?
I think it's like green.
Green,
like
that way,
icon.
like, just in case.
Yeah, it's like a green icon. It's LINE. So it's equivocal to WhatsApp. That's how I found out that he was like messaging somebody. There were other ways I found out, but that was one thing he was using. Because if they use a text message, you can see them. But if it's on an app, you have to open up the app, and nobody thinks to do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You just think go to their messages.
Text messages. That's what we all do.
Yeah.
Ladies, that's the first thing we do. We text messages and emails are the first thing we do. And guys open up extra emails, just so you guys know. They will create a whole ass email just so that they can go and talk to these women.
Yeah, and like kind of like you mentioned earlier, some people go and make a whole separate bank account.
Hell yeah, they do.
To do stuff like that.
Experienced that too.
Yeah, see, like, so if you start seeing these like little things, definitely pay attention and trust your gut feeling at the end of the day.
Yeah, always.
And just because most of the time I know there's people like, I should have just, like, I knew it. I should have just trusted my gut feeling.
Right.
You know, and then maybe you wasted like another year with this person that was cheating on you the whole year.
Yeah.
And another thing to watch out for, ladies, like, just because you caught him the one time doesn't mean it was the only time.
Right.
Like, there's been so many stories that they get caught for the one, like, whatever occasion. And then later on, other women come out and be like,
yep,
it was also me. It was also me.
Yeah.
And then because they're not going to admit to the rest of the times.
Right.
Or if they tell you it was just like a recent thing.
Right.
And maybe it was like a whole year thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be like, oh, we've been talking
for Or if they
like
tell you they needed a friend.
Yeah.
They just needed a friend to talk to.
Yeah. Like
but it had to be a female. It had to be a female. What is she going to get?
So definitely pay attention to those things.
There's signs. There's cues.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. There's cues. You'll know.
All right. So
you're no longer essential.
The last question that we got from these ladies is, why does my man's dick go soft during penetration, but not during oral? Is it the cat?
Or why does it go soft? Well, again, are you dry down there? Are you wet enough? Because if you're dry, and I can't speak for guys, but I'm assuming if you're dry, it's not pleasurable to the guy. So there's like follow-up questions with that. I mean, I can't tell you if it is or if it isn't. Maybe he likes oral more than penetration, which that's why I'm asking, like, is it because you're not wet enough down there? Because if you're doing oral, your mouth is always like wet, salivating, right? Yeah. Especially depending on how deep you go in. Creates a little salivary glands. But that's why I'm saying if he likes it oral, it's probably because your mouth is wet and you're not wet down there. Yeah. So, and if that's the case, then just lube it up, girl. Lube it up.
Lube it up.
Or take those gummies.
Or, yeah, those ones. Well, those ones are just to make it.
Is it Kourtney Kardashian? One of the Kardashians makes like a gummy that like helps with wetness down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, like you can definitely do something like that.
And they work.
Or there's also the like.
Just lube.
No, even if it's wet.
Maybe it's too wet. Some guys don't like it really wet.
That and they can't feel it. But like when you're doing oral on him, obviously you can put more pressure on there so where they feel it more. So it also could be that.
But it has nothing to do with her cat though. Okay?
No, it has nothing to do with her cat.
Maybe he just likes the suction.
That's what I'm saying. Like he can feel it more. Okay, then
suction. Just say suction. Because when you say feel it more, that makes me think like you're like they think the girl's loose. No, there's no such thing. Not
loose.
I know, but
I'm trying to signify that he might not be that big. And so like
just say that.
So if he gets too wet,
right. He can't feel it.
It takes a lot of the feeling out.
Right. Well, does she feel it?
Yeah.
That's also another question.
Cuz like if he's not feeling it, it's going to get to the point where he's just like it's like not turning him on.
Right. Yeah.
But like in the mouth, maybe he's like actually feeling it because she's the sucking motion.
Yeah.
Like, he feels that and so now he's just like that too. So it could be those two. Like again, we don't know what her situation is. So that's why like pay attention to those and at the end of the day just ask him.
Right.
Be like,
but girls are embarrassed to ask too.
But
I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'd be like, what's wrong? What's wrong with my shit down there? Is it good or not?
But this is how you fix things early on.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And then when you can have those conversations early on too, it's gonna be easy later on.
Right. Yeah. And if it's something that's happening early on, like think about what the future is gonna be like.
Yeah. And so it's either you bring it up.
Right.
Fix some. Right. Because if you really like this dude.
Yeah.
Or like, because it's not going to fix itself.
Right. And if you like just leave it there and don't say anything, then it like turns into this like snowball effect and it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help him. So for me, it's like just bring it up right then and there.
Yeah, because it's going to cause a lot of issues. And that's why I wanted to bring this topic up too, because some guys don't realize how much it affects their partner. Mm-hmm. Like what they go through.
Right.
they think that, like they're not the ones going through it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not going through it physically, but then it's going to affect them emotionally, mentally.
Right.
They're going to start blaming themselves, especially if you're not talking to them. Mm-hmm. They're going to start thinking it's them.
Right.
They're going to be thinking it's somebody else.
Right.
They're going to...
They're both thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Like, it's like, what's going on here?
Right. But I feel like ladies tend to like... they take it harder emotionally, mentally, and physically than men do. Mm-hmm. Right? When you have a man who's like can't get it up or goes limp in the middle of it, like we immediately tend to like overthink and think it's us, and then we bash ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, but realistically, like we're probably not even the problem. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and you need to stop. That was something that I talked about on the live the other day. Is a lot of girls assume things.
Right.
Assume that it's gonna get fixed.
Right.
Assume that it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
And then before they know it, a few years pass by and
Right.
it's the same.
Right.
You know, just because they thought for some reason it was gonna get fixed. But instead of having that, now when you want to have that conversation, it's a lot harder because say you went a year without being intimate and now you bring it up.
Right.
Now he's just gonna be like,
well, we've been doing it for a year and you didn't say anything. Yeah.
Like, why is it a problem now?
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, no, I think women tend to just kind of overthink it. I'm guilty of that. Like in the past, like I've done that where I was with somebody who had that issue and I thought it was me. You know, I was like, maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Like I'm not good looking. Like, you know, I've been there, done that. Like I know what you guys think. Like it's not you. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's not you, but you can't help but think that.
Yeah, I think it's a natural thing to start blaming yourself, but then you should also like what is going on here?
Right.
Like, kind of maybe I shouldn't be bashing myself. Maybe let's have the conversation.
Right.
And
be the supportive girlfriend.
And then the more you don't say anything, the more you're just gonna bash yourself.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then not say anything. Like I can't believe like there's some of these girls who go so long without being intimate with their partner.
That's wild.
Like, because they don't want to say anything.
Right.
Or they just argue about it. Like, if it's a problem, like...
And if it becomes... And if they always argue about it, then they never want to talk about it. Because then they're going to be like, well, if we talk about it, it's just going to turn into an argument.
Yeah, but what they don't realize is that intimacy is going to affect their relationship.
Right.
Like, it's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
Like, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's going to put you guys on... Somebody on edge.
Right.
If their patterns change... They're going to think, oh, this person's cheating now, you know, like, it just, things like that. I wouldn't want to be with somebody where gone that long without being intimate.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Because I feel like sex is important.
Huge. It affects the relationship in a huge way.
Right.
Like just being intimate with somebody.
Yeah. And I've been guilty of that where like, I would tell myself like, it's okay. I don't need to have sex. Like I'm okay having sex like once every like 2-3 months. But realistically, I wasn't. But I wasn't helping my partner either by telling him like I was okay with it. You know what I mean? So I was also part of the problem when instead of me saying like, no, it's not okay. You know what I mean? And him going and seeking like higher help from what he was already having, you know? So I've been there, done that. So I'm saying like, ladies, like communicate. It's not okay to like go without having sex, especially if you love sex. Like if you have a high sex drive, it's not okay to go without sex just to make your partner feel good about himself, because you also have to feel good about yourself too. Like if you don't feel good, you know what I mean? Then he doesn't feel good, vice versa. That
and like it could lead to you stepping out of the relationship. Because if he's struggling, now the moment another guy makes you feel wanted, you know, makes you feel sexy, you're going to like that.
Yeah. And I've also noticed that guys would be like, you know what? Like, I can't give you what you want. I'm okay with you going out. Just don't tell me. Don't do that. That's not a solution. It's not a solution at all.
It's just like a temporary bandage.
Right. Well, not only that, like, what if you have that emotional connection with that person and then it leads to you leaving this, you know, your husband, your boyfriend who has everything else but that one thing. Like, just sex is the only thing is that he can't provide for you. Here you are leaving this guy and then you go with this other guy who's like a douchebag, you know, because you don't really know him. And then you just left this wonderful guy who just can't get it up to go with this other guy just because he can rock your world. You know what I mean? So I feel like if guys don't do it, don't offer that to your girl. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want to step outside of a relationship. And not only that, like, you make us feel bad when you say that.
That and
We don't need hall passes. Fix yourself.
She's more than likely gonna choose the other person, because if that other person makes her feel wanted and sexy,
because that's what
she's gonna want that a lot more. Not going home and just being there.
Right. So essentially, like, guys are just pushing their girls to, like, leave the relationship. When you offer that, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're giving her, like, you're saying, hey, you know what? Like, go. If it's better, you can leave, without saying it. Yeah. That's what it's going to lead to. Guys don't think it does, but it does.
Well, exactly. And that's why, like, I mainly wanted to do the podcast, is so girls can learn what goes on. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully they can share this with their person and be comfortable with listening to it.
Right.
Like, and seeing, like, what they can do. What are the pros and cons of, like, well, there's actually, like, no, if you don't do anything about it, it's all bad.
Right.
Right. It's going to affect your relationship. She could probably leave you, like, it just take a great relationship and ruin it. Mm-hmm. just because you didn't want to go get checked.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like, if you have an issue, it's very common. You're not singled out at all.
There's nothing wrong with you. You're still normal.
You may feel like that, like, and the reason you may feel like that is because nobody around you is going to tell you that they're struggling.
Right. For all you know, your best friend's struggling.
They're just getting fixed.
Right. Yeah.
They're just, like, still having a great relationship, but maybe they had a better communication with their partner, and they went and got it fixed. Or he didn't even tell his partner, and then he went and still got it fixed. Right. But at the end of the day, that's the most important
communication
part, is, like, talking about it. And fellas, it's okay. Don't feel ashamed.
No.
Don't feel like you're less of a man than somebody else.
Nope.
Some of these celebrities are probably on something too, because they may seem perfect.
Yep.
But they're not. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone has their issues.
I feel like it makes you less of a man not getting help.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because now somebody's going to come and
swoop your girl up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then now, exactly, you're going to feel less of a man because you lost her.
Yeah. And not only that, you're going to, let's just say you lose her or you leave or whatever, you're going to carry that forward to your next relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a cycle.
And it's going to start off on the wrong foot. Like,
unless you meet somebody who works in the medical field that is, like, understanding and can help you and educate you.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen too often. But the thing is, like, you get with somebody new thinking that it's going to be great, but now you're going to be
maybe they realize that it's them and not the girl, because if you couldn't get it up with your wife and then you have the next one, then it's just like light bulb.
Yeah, that, and, like, but how is that relationship going to start too?
Right.
Like, if you can't even get it up right away, and, like, now she's more like, should I do this?
Right. Yeah.
And then now you're like, well, she don't want me anymore, or, like, it could even be, like, even more stressful because now you're worried about this next person. Are they even going to want me because the last one left me because I couldn't do anything about it?
Then at that point, that's when you realize you need to go get help.
Yeah. Like, just go.
Right. Just go get the help, guys. Urology.
But before we end, I want to do this game. I do it by myself most of the time because most of the podcast episodes are just me. But these are just questions. It's called How Deep Will You Go? That's what she said. But it's just like, it's not sex related questions. It's just like the first one says icebreaker, right? Okay. So the first one says, already answered that one. Sorry. That one's
maybe you should take out the ones you've already answered.
What is on your mind right now?
What is on my mind right now is I want some of those candies with chamoy and all that stuff. That's on my mind right now.
Oh, that's crazy because mine is a lot of limp penises. I don't know why. It could be a reason.
I love candy. I don't think about limp noodles.
It could be because that's all we've been talking about right now is just limp noodles. So I have a lot of limp phalluses in my head right now.
And alcohol.
And what?
Happy hour. Maybe some tacos.
Oh, tacos. What do you think your past self would think of you now?
I think my past self would think that I've grown a lot. From where I started, I think that if I saw myself and knew what I've been through to get to where I'm at now, I would be very proud of myself. Reason is because I had a kid at a young age, and I had to grow up quickly. I didn't have a choice. Like, I graduated high school a year early. I had to put my son in daycare because, like, my parents were like, well, you had this baby, like, you know, you have to raise it. So I definitely had to grow up quickly. I had to pretty much figure out my life, because here I had a kid that I had to provide for, right, at a young age. So then I put myself in medical assisting school, and then that's where I stemmed through. And then now I'm a nurse. So it took me a while to be a nurse, but it's okay. You're never too old to be a nurse, guys, or do anything. You're never too old. So I would probably say I'm pretty proud of myself, of the obstacles that I went through, what I have gone through, and I'm still the strong person that I am now. Mm-hmm. I'm very independent too, so I have a hard time.
Yeah, I feel like, what would my past self think of me now is that, I think similar, but knowing that it's true, like, especially early on, a lot of people think that they have to have everything figured out. Mm-hmm. And especially when you're young, like, you think that sometimes the pressure of society, the pressure of your parents, that's why ease up on the kids. On their 20s, they should be fucking up.
Right.
Yeah. In their 30s, you got, let's figure something out.
Yeah. But you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You have to let your kids make mistakes.
But that's the only way. But not
not stupid ones. Obviously, you know when to intervene and when not to intervene.
But if they want to do something, like, support them, and just know that maybe they have some sort of plan. I'm sure when, like, some of these streamers who make a shit ton of money now, mm-hmm. when they told their parents that they wanted to do this, maybe their parents were like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So it would just be that it was just like, you were right not to be like, have it figured out.
Right.
Because I'm sure somebody who's younger, luckily I like my demographic. It's a little bit older. Like, I don't want a bunch of kids listening, because that'd just be weird. Mine's 25 to, I think, 50, mm-hmm. which I love. But if there is younger audience, or even if you have kids, probably that more, is just let them do, like, obviously intervene when you need to.
Right.
But let them mess up. Let them go through those heartbreaks. Yeah. Let them go through a failure in life, right. because that's what teaches them.
Yeah. And don't be judgmental.
Yeah. And don't knock what they want to do.
Right.
Like, if I really want to do this, and you're just like, no.
Right. Just let them.
Because depending on the person, they might just be like, oh, okay, well, my parents said no.
Right.
But there's also people who are like, well, I don't care what she says.
Right.
I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
And because I think, I don't know if I told you, but, like, growing up, my parents, especially my mom, she would always be like, you need to get a job. Or I had a job. What I meant is, like, you need to go to school and get, like, some sort of job from, like, schooling. Like, mm-hmm. It was always school. You have to go to school. You have to go to school and do this and do this. Because to her, it was like, you go to school, you get some sort of career, mm-hmm. you work your 9 to 5, and then that's it. You just live and be part of society. Like, but growing up, I'm like, that sounds boring.
Right.
Like, that sounds boring to me.
Yeah.
Like, just living and working some regular job.
Yeah.
Like, and so, like,
but we also don't want our kids to be bums.
Yeah, but I would
slumming out on my couch.
I was always pursuing something. Like,
right.
Of course, I already always had a job, but I was always trying to pursue something. And luckily, I just kept at it, mm-hmm. which eventually turned out to be something really good. Yeah. And it continues to get better.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, just if they have some sort of focus, because
they have to have a plan.
Yeah.
If you're going to come at me and tell me you want to be an influencer, I need to know your plan.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
don't just say I want to be an influencer and that's it. No, I need to know your plan.
Yeah. Like, so if they tell you that, be like, okay, like, well, tell them, let's figure out what are the steps we need to take to get you there. Like, mm-hmm. what do we need to do? Like, you have a phone, cool. You have a camera.
Yeah.
We can get you some little mics. You need a light. What kind of content are you trying to make? And now they're going to be thinking like, oh shit, like, I didn't think she was going to ask me these questions. Or
But that's being supportive.
yeah, they're gonna be like, oh well, my mom's cool about it,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and so maybe I can do this,
Right. And don't say what their dream. Don't say their dreams and aspirations is stupid if you don't agree with it.
Yeah,
You know, because you don't know like what plan they have. That's why I always ask like, what's your plan? You know, so
exactly.
I always tell my kids, you're either going to school or you have a job. You're not going to be slumming it on my couch. I don't care what you do, but do something.
True, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so the last one. This is the getting deep.
Ooh.
What is the most painful thing you've ever been told?
The painful thing I've ever been told. Probably when my grandpa passed away. That was probably the most painful thing that I've ever been told. I remember I was at work and I got a text message that said he passed away. I was really close to him. And I was like hysterical. So that's probably the most painful thing that I've ever been told, honestly. Like somebody telling me somebody cheated on me, I'm just like, whatever at this point.
Yeah, because the reason I like these questions because typically the correct answer is what pops in your mind first.
Yeah.
So depending on what has happened in your life,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna pop up. Whatever, like whoever listened to this, like it's cool because sometimes I get people who respond. They're like, I thought of this. Because
everybody has different.
You hear the question and then like instantly something pops up. And that's usually what the answer is.
Right.
You know, you just try to be like, well, like, let me see. Like,
Yeah, no.
It might be something different.
Yeah, it's always
like for me, I wasn't the closest with my grandparents. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I knew them. Like I'll even give an example. Like when I went to go visit my grandma and grandpa before my grandma passed away, my grandpa didn't even know who I was. Like he's like, who's he? And my mom was like, it's Edgar. And he's like, oh, it's Edgar. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
what's up? He's like, I didn't recognize him. So like you can kind of tell the relationship because I've just never been super close with them. But the thing that came up in my head was when my dad got cancer. I think that was the toughest thing because growing up, you hear cancer and you dead.
Death wish.
Especially with like TV shows that would come out. Like I knew there was this TV show, Family Matters. I don't know if you ever saw it with Steve Urkel.
Yes.
There's an episode.
TGIF.
There's an episode on there where they're in high school and somebody gets shot because somebody took a gun. For the longest time, I was afraid to go to high school. I was like scared of high school because I thought people took guns and shot people.
They do.
Well, they still do.
Yeah.
But I didn't like. I thought it was like a
common
like
thing.
it was gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't want to get shot at high school. Like, so that like scared to death. So similar with like these TV shows, they would like somebody gets cancer, they die.
Right.
And so instantly I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I was upset that it took her a while to tell me. Like it wasn't like we went to the doctor.
Yeah.
It was only like a few days because my mom had a hard time keeping it in because she was like always crying about it. But I was just like upset about like, why'd you wait so long?
Right.
And then just to me, worst case scenario always pops into my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is it. I'm like, he's still young. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, why?
Yeah.
Luckily, you know, he beat it, even though he got it back again.
Yeah.
Beat it again. But that was because again, I haven't been super close with my grandparents.
Yeah.
I haven't lost siblings due to, you know, death or anything like that. So again, everybody's experience is a little bit different. But to me, it was that.
Yeah.
It was my.
Oh, I get that. Yeah. Try being deployed and your mom being diagnosed with cancer and not telling you.
See, that would.
Yeah, that was my brother. My brother was deployed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was deployed. He was in Iraq. And my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer. I kind of knew she had it based off of her symptoms. Again, I worked in the medical field and she told me her symptoms. But yeah, my brother was deployed and she didn't tell him. He was pissed.
Oh, I would have been pissed too.
Yeah, but she didn't want to worry him either, you know, while he's out there, like, you know, fighting. So.
And I get the worry.
Yeah. But as moms, we don't want to worry our kids, especially he's in combat. Like, come on.
But the worst thing, the reason people get mad is like, I could have called her more, like knowing that like if you know that, if he knows, okay, she's not sick, they're fine, they're healthy, and then out of nowhere something bad didn't happen, like maybe she didn't make it, he would be like, what the fuck? Like I could have made more of an effort to try to like reach home. Not like, obviously he just can't just leave.
Right.
But he would have maybe made more of an effort, like, hey, let me try to like call more
Frequently.
And, more frequently, and things like that. Like I FaceTime my mom all the time too. It's not like an everyday thing, but if I knew she was sick or something like that, I'd be FaceTiming her every day.
Right. But you should have been doing that initially.
No, but I get it.
Yeah.
But like people have like their own lives too.
Yeah.
You know, like I got to do stuff like this, go to work, do this, do this. And then I'll be like, oh, like, let me FaceTime my mom real quick. But if I knew like she was sick, because let's be honest, people have lives.
Right.
Like you can't sit there and like,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
dedicate all your time to one person. But knowing that something is wrong,
then you'd reach out more.
now you're just like, hey, how are you feeling today? Like, how are things going?
And honestly, it makes them feel good about them. You know what I mean? Like asking them, because not everybody asks how they're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, so it's not so much like,
and I can imagine it was hard for you because you weren't there.
yeah.
You know, at least I was here with my mom and I would take her to appointments. I would take her to her chemo, radiation. I would see all of that. Versus you're here and they're there.
And then like another thing is like, say like she was super bad and she didn't want to tell your brother, and then something did happen, he could have at least tried to visit.
Yeah.
You know, because I know they do some sort of like if you know something's gonna happen, they let you leave.
Yeah.
And then you go back. But
yeah, they have to die for them to let them leave.
But still, like knowing,
Yeah.
you know, instead of just one day, hey.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
it.
he was mad at me because I didn't tell him.
Yeah, see, and like,
just like I was mad at him when he told me he shaved my mom's head.
Because maybe he had some some resources being in the army, you know, like, hey, like maybe like we should do this, or you know, I just want to. It's not that I get it. It's gonna be in his head too, like while he's out there.
Yeah.
But it's more of a like I should at least, like, I'm your son.
Right.
Like I need to know that something's wrong with you too, because like clearly you want to know when something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure, like when a while back ago I had like this weird face reaction, like weird, everything swole up, and it happened when I was in Idaho. And then when I got here, my mom was like calling me like 4 or 5 times a day, and she was like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm feeling a lot better." And she's like, "Is it looking better?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's starting to look better." She FaceTimes me and she's like, "You liar, it's not looking better." And I'm like, "Well, it feels," you know what I mean? Like, it's just more of like being there for the person, you know, like, and not being told I can't be there because you thought like it was
gonna stress you out.
Yeah, is not fair.
Yeah, but he was in combat. And and
that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I mean, would she change it? No, she would not. She would still do the same thing.
Yeah, like, but I think you do.
I don't even know how he found out. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it does more harm lying and then finding out.
It's not technically, she didn't lie to him though, because she just didn't tell him.
Yeah, but still, I would want to know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, because you never know
at the end of the day, it's her choice.
Yeah, you never know what something's gonna happen too.
Yeah.
You know, like,
obviously, like if I knew it was like gonna be like issues getting worse or deteriorating a lot faster, obviously I would have called my brother a long time ago.
Yeah.
But she was in good hands. Like I was taking care of her. Like she's in good hands. So I felt it was okay not to have to tell him because of that. So.
Okay. But yeah, I like doing those questions just because it changes it up a little bit and makes you think a little bit.
You're bringing back past trauma?
Yeah, it makes you think a little bit of like.
I have to go to therapy.
The reason I really like the questions is because it makes you like that your first thought of that scenario. Like there's sometimes I've read some and I'm like, can't relate to this at all.
Yeah.
And so I just skip it. But there's some that instantly you're like, oh, like this, you know, like this. And it makes people think too as well. So that's why I really like doing them. I try to do it almost every episode, but it's mainly by myself. So everyone gets to hear my traumas.
Yeah. Everybody knows you.
Yeah.
They're like, Edgar needs therapy.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to thank you for jumping on and talking to everybody. Hopefully a lot of men and women got a lot of good information out of this.
Yeah.
You know, because the biggest thing that we wanted to do was bring them value and some educational, and hopefully it helps.
Yeah.
You know, like go down the right path instead of just waiting.
Yeah.
For something to happen.
Yeah. And if you guys have any follow-up questions or you guys want to know anything, and if you don't want to ask him, then you guys can ask.
Yeah. So thank you again for jumping on. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
See you guys.